Hello friends, this is Smita here and we are in the fourth class of GST. Till now we discussed about GST concept. We discussed about how it is applied in GST TallyPrime and also exercised on purchase and sales within the state along with GST calculation. Now, in this session, we will learn purchases and sales between the states, that is, interstate purchases and sales. And after that, we will discuss about ITC, how to claim ITC, how to pay the GST to government through TallyPrime, how to enter in TallyPrime. So let's start with our next session, interstate purchase and sales GST goods. So here we will learn how to enter the transaction of goods sale between two states. So just like earlier one, we need different vouchers, different masters like purchase account under purchase account, sales ledger under sales account. These two we already have. Then we need to create GST ledgers, tax ledgers. For purchase, we need input IGST. This will be under duties and taxes, GST type, integrated tax, and output IGST under again duties and taxes, GST type, integrated one. Stock item with details, we have already created the stock item, creditors ledger and debtors ledger along with their GST numbers. So these are the masters required. Let's start with the question. On 1st May 2022, HP Pavilion 11 numbers purchase. We purchased HP computers, HP Pavilion computers 11 numbers at the rate of 40,000 from Shaha IT Solutions, the regular dealer from Gujarat. GST number is so and so. Okay. So we purchased goods from another state. Our company is in Maharashtra state and we are purchasing goods from Gujarat state. So obvious this is interstate purchase. So for this we need purchase ledger. We have already this one. This purchase ledger we already have. We created the purchase ledger under purchase account. Inventory gets affected, yes. Here in statutory details, is GST applicable? Say yes. Here, don't alter the GST details. Say it alter GST details, keep it as no, and type of supply will be goods. And if these questions do not arise to your screen, then go to F12 and provide and go to GST details. And these two questions provide GST rate details for ledgers and non-revenue accounts also. These two questions needs to be enabled so that statutory details questions will appear on your screen. So this is what purchase ledger. Now we will create a new ledger, input IGST. As it is integrated tax GST, we need to create IGST input tax, duties and taxes. It is type of GST, and now this is integrated one. Don't put percentage over here. And the creditors ledger. Who is creditor? Shah and company. Name of the company is Shah, and I have this GST number also. So let's open Tally Shah IT Solutions. This is our creditor. So sundry creditors will be the group. Maintain bill by bill details. Yes, we need to maintain bill by bill details. Then if default credit period is available, suppose it is 30 days credit period is available, and the address of the creditor, he is from Gujarat. Selection of state is always important in case of GST entries. So this creditor is from Gujarat. Select the state, provide the PIN code and address details. Now PAN number will be, put your GST number. In that, first delete 2 digits of state code and last 3 digits of GST code. Now this Shaha IT creditor, the solutions, this is our creditor, whether he is composite dealer, consumer, registered dealer, or unregistered dealer. So he is a regular dealer. Now provide GST number. This is the GST number. I will just copy paste, enter. So we have created all the ledgers. We have the HP pavilion as a input, I stock item, and we have enabled the GST details over here. It is HP computer. HSN code is 8471. This is calculation type will be on value. The tax will be calculated on value. Taxable, the product is taxable. RCM is not applicable. Is it applicable for ITC? Yes, it is applicable. So it is not eligible. Is not given. No. Percentage of GST, rate of GST is 18%. So this is we have already created. Now we'll pass the entry voucher, go to purchase voucher, and that to the item invoice. Okay, so on which date we purchased? On 1st May we purchased 11 numbers of HP pavilion. So date is 1st May. Supplier invoice 200. Party is Shah IT solutions. If tracking part is available, receipt note, purchase order number, select the same. Then provide party details. If it already provided, no need to enter, just press Ctrl A to save. Purchase ledger will be purchase account. Press spacebar for the list of your stock items. From which go down. Uh, we don't have any stock at home at MG Road Godown. Now we are purchasing 11 computers at the rate of 40,000. After all the list of stock items purchased, provide GST amount. So it is interstate. So we will select is ITGS input IGST. The amount should get calculated if, automatically. As the bill is above 50,000, you have to provide the e-way bill details also. So provide the details, press enter to provide bill wise details, and then give narration as being goods purchased. This is what the purchase is. If you want to check the GST analysis, what we have to do, we have to go to purchase register, which is in display more reports, accounts book, purchase register. In the month of May, we purchased it from Shah IT Solutions. Open that entry, and here press Ctrl O for related reports. GST analysis for details, press Alt F1 or Alt F5. So goods purchased of 4,40,000, and on that integrated GST, that is GST calculated as 18%, that is 79,200. So this is how purchase transaction is being entered. Now the next part is sales. On 2nd May 2022, HP Pavilion 11 numbers, all the computers sold at the rate of 50,000 to RK Computer Institute, the customer of Karnataka. So let's enter the sales transaction. Before that, we will create all the ledgers, required ledgers. RK Institute, RK Institute is our debtor. So sundry debtors, maintain bill by bill details, yes. RK Institute, it is from Karnataka. So select the state as Karnataka, enter. Now this RK Institute, RK Computer Institute is the customer. So it is customer. So PAN number is not available at present. So this is consumer. That person will consume the same. It, enter, enter. Now we will pass the one more. We will create one more ledger, that is output IGST account. This will be under duties and taxes, GST type of duty, and this is integrated one without any percentage. So we have created all the ledgers. Sales ledger we already have. Now we will pass the entry. Press V from your keyboard or select the voucher option. Now it is sales transaction, so press F8. The sales will be on 2nd May. We have already altered the voucher type sales for automatic numbering with advanced configuration with having prefix and suffix also. So our current invoice number is ASL, that is Alpha Suppliers Limited, bill number 002 of 2223. Now party name is RK Institute. Enter, give the details. Sales ledger will be sales account. Product is HP Pavilion. From which godown we will sell? From MG godown, MG Road godown. 11 computers we will sell at the rate of 50,000. Enter, and then we will charge the output GST, output IGST. This should come automatically. So again, provide e-way bill details and then provide bill wise reference numbers. So 30 days due date is available, being goods sold. So this is our sales entry. To check the GST analysis, go on this sales invoice itself, press Ctrl O to check GST analysis. Select the option GST analysis and press Alt F1 for details. So the taxable value of the goods which are sold interstate within between two states is 5,50,000 and taxable rate is 18,000 of internet type, integrated type. 99,000 is the amount of tax. So press Ctrl E. This is how we will enter the interstate purchase and sales entries. Now the next one. In the last session, we checked different reports, GST reports, that is GSTR1, GSTR2, GSTR3B. GSTR1 is for outward supplies. Whatever we have sold, we can check them through GSTR1. So how to check GSTR1 report? Go to Gateway of Tally, display more reports, GST reports, GSTR1. So we are in Gateway of Tally, display more reports, GST reports and GSTR1. Now this report is for the period 1st April to 30th April. Now we want to check the report of month of May. So right from 1st of May to 31st of May, these are the transactions. Our total vouchers entered till date are 4, in which 2 are sales voucher, 2 are purchase voucher, and this is GSTR1, which is outward supplies report. 2 vouchers are included in this return. So we sold goods to B2B invoices, which were this was in the last session. So we sold HP Pavilion 10 items to SK Enterprise within the state of Maharashtra, and for that charge 45,000 CGST and SGST 45,000. This is the entry for within the state sales. And then B2C means business to consumer. We sold to RK Institute 11 numbers of computers at the rate of 50,000. The GST will be IGST 99,000 because this RK Institute is from Karnataka. Okay, so this is the sales GSTR1. So just have the Excel sheet and we will enter all these details in our Excel sheet. So this is my Excel sheet and this is the table. I have CGST column, SGST column and IGST column. So I will put output CGST amount here. Output CGST amount is C. This is B2B, means within the state sales are there, and for that central GST will be 45,000. So total CGST is here, total amount is available 45,000. So total 45,000. Same way, SGST will be the same always. If it is not, then something went wrong. So check it out whether both the amounts are same or not. So state GST will be 45,000 and IGST. The amount of IGST, that is integrated GST, is 99,000. So here it is 99,000. So 99,000 is the output IGST. Okay, so this is GSTR1. Press escape. Now we will check GSTR2 for the period 1st of May to 31st of May. Again, total 4 entries are there, out of which here considered only 2 purchase entries. We confirm that incomplete information in HSN SAC summary should be 0 always. If it is not, something went wrong. Now, B2B business purchases. We purchased, just press enter to get details. Shaha Computers, Shaha IT Solutions, we purchased 11 computers at the rate of 40,000 and it was IGST 79,200 was the tax. And another entry, within the state we have purchased from DLF Maharashtra state, CGST and HGST amount 36,000 each. So we will enter these details in our Excel sheet. So I will just have separate column for all types of taxes. By pressing F12 configuration, I have checked the mark for separate column. So this is B2B business purchases. Integrated tax total amount is IGST, input IGST 79,200. Check this total column 79,200. So I will put IGST amount 79,200 as input tax. Then for CGST and HGST input amount is 36,000 each. So in CGST column 36,000, SGST column 36,000. Okay. So this is what the amount paid by purchasing the goods. Now go to GSTR 3D. Again change the period by pressing Alt F2. This is for 1st of May to 31st of May. So by end 31st of May. 1st of May to 31st of May. See, whatever we have in our Excel sheet, the same thing is available over here. See, outward supplies, total outward supplies was 10,50,000. In that 99,000 was the output IGST. See, here it is 99,000. CGST and SGST was 45,000 each. So CGST and SGST, these are the output taxes. And here it has given that out of about 10,50,000, 5,50,000 sold to the customers, which is unregistered one. Obviously, customers are unregistered one. Next, eligible ITC. We are eligible for ITC of IGST 79,200. So IGST 79,200 will be our input IGST, and then 36,000 will be CGST HGST input part. Okay. Now how much we will pay? We sold, while selling we have collected total 1,89,000 as the tax. While buying goods we paid 1,51,200 as a tax. So whatever the difference between these two figures is the amount payable to the government, and that is for GST we will deduct 45,000 minus 36,000. We will deduct 36,000 from 45,000. So 45,000 minus 36,000. Same way to calculate SGST payable 45,000 minus 36,000, and the IGST payable will be 99,000 minus 79,200. Okay, so this is the amount payable. So total amount payable will be sum of these three figures. So we will pay 37,800 to the government. Okay. Now paying government has to follow the steps. We are in 3B report, or you can be in the GSTR1 report, GSTR2 report, or in the 3B report. Okay. The first step is for ITC. To pass the entry of ITC, you need to open either GSTR1, GSTR2, or GSTR3B. Any report needs to be opened, and from here we will pass the adjustment entry. So we have already opened this 3B, and we have also changed the period. The period of this report is from 1st of May to 31st of May. Now, at this report, we have to press Alt J for statutory adjustment. Then this screen will open, and this way we have to select the type of duty, GST. We need to decrease the tax liability for adjusting the credit. Now what we are doing here actually is we will pass the entry to adjust this input. We need to deduct this input amount from output amount. How to deduct? See, while purchasing, we used to enter the transaction as purchase account debit, input input GST account debit to that party ledger, right? This is for purchases. When we sales the good, we used to debit party ledger, and credit will go to sales account and to output GST amount. So it may be output CGST, HGST, or output IGST, whatever. So while selling, we have credited output GST ledgers. Now, in this example, output CGST and input CGST, in both the amounts, which one is lower? 36,000. That is, input amount is lower. In SGST part, again the same, input SGST is lower as compared to output SGST. So we need to consider this amount. Whichever is lower, we need to consider for entering the adjustment entry. And in IGST part, 99,000 is the output amount, 79,200 is the input amount. So 79 is lower amount, so we will consider this amount. Now, entry we need to pass is output CGST account debit, output SGST account debit, output IGST account debit to input CGST to input SGST and to input IGST. So these are the ledgers to be used for passing adjustment entry. Now this is the entry which we need to pass always for adjusting the input tax credit, but the amount will always be the amount which is lower. In this CGST column, the amount which is lower is 36,000. So I will add this, I will put 36,000 debit to CGST and 36,000 to credit for input CGST. Amount will be the same for both the ledgers. Now for output SGST. SGST we have 36,000 as a lower amount. So again output SGST 36,000 will be the debit and output input 36,000 will be the credit. And for output IGST, the amount which is lower is 79,000. So 79,200 debit to output ledger and 79,200 credit to input IGST ledger. So this is the entry that we need to pass. But this entry needs to be passed through proper track, proper way. And the way is you arrive at any of the GST report, either GSTR1, GSTR2 or GSTR3B. We are in the GSTR3B, and here press Alt J for statutory adjustment. So I am pressing Alt J. It is to the right hand side, Alt J statutory adjustment. Here we are decreasing the tax liability. Our tax liability is how much? 45,000 for GST purpose, CGST purpose. For GST purpose, we need to pay government 45,000. IGST we will pay 99,000. But we have already paid this amount to our creditor who paid this to government. So out of this output GST amount, we will deduct all these amounts of input tax credit. So 45,000 less 36,000. That is, we will reduce the output ledger to the extent of input. So at present, output ledger has balance of 45,000. Reduce it by 36,000. So to reduce the same, while selling, we used output GST ledger in the credit side. We will use opposite side, that is debit side, to reduce the amount. So to reduce this amount, we are using debit card. So this is statutory adjustment for GST. Nature of adjustment is decrease of tax liability, and additional details will be adjustment against credit. So I have already shared this screenshot. To select in this way only. Now we are in the JV. Special JV it is used for decrease of tax liability, additional details, adjustment against credit, and this JV will be passed on 31st of May. So change the date to 31st May, and this entry we will pass in this special JV. So debit will go to output CGST. Just leave this. Output CGST amount is 36,000. Same way, debit, change the debit. Output SGST amount will be again same. Then again change it to debit part. Output IGST. How much will be the amount? 79,200. 79,200. So we have completed with output debit part. See, after entering these amounts, see the balance. So output tax payable CGST will be 9,000, SGST 9,000, and IGST will be 19,800. Check. The same amount appears over here. Okay. Now to the credit part. Credit input CGST, the same amount which we have used for this ledgers, we will enter over here 36,000. Credit input SGST 36,000 and input IGST 79,200. Enter being adjustment statutory adjustment entry. Enter. This is how we will adjust the enter. Now press escape. Now we are on gateway of Tally. So this much we have did. We pass the JV. In JV, the JV will be output GST, all the ledgers, debit to input GST, all input ledgers. And the amount will be, we will check each and every type of tax, CGST, SGST and IGST. In that, whichever the amount is lower, total output and total input, whichever is lower, that amount will be entered in this entry. Now the next part. This is done. This is the screen of entry that we have just now we have passed. Now next, now we will pay to government. How much we will pay to government? This much. This amount we will pay to government. So pay to government. Again, payment to government should be done automatically by using autofill entry. How to fill automatically? Go to gateway of Tally, vouchers, F5 as we are paying to government. Press F5 for payment. Now here press Ctrl F for autofill and uh, enter these details. Okay, so let's start paying to government. Go to vouchers, F5, and here change the date to 31st 5 as suppose this is the last month of the day and we are adjusting the GST part. Now here we will enter Control F for autofill. So Control F autofill. It is statutory payment, GST payment. For regular payment, this regular purchase sales adjusted over here, and then we are paying the amount to government. This is for the period month of May, 31st May to 31st of May. Enter, and now for payment we will, this is adjustment entry and payment entry will be here. I will enter over here payment entry. Payment entry will be output CGST account debit, output SGST account debit, output IGST account debit to bank. Okay, so this is our ledger. Output amount will be 9,000 CGST, SGST 9,000, IGST will be 19,800. So debit will go to output CGST. See, I will enter 9,000 and the balance will get nullified for that particular ledger. Output IGST, sorry, SGST 9,000 and debit output IGST total 19,800. So 19,800. For just a minute. You have not paid. I will create the ledger first. Axis Bank. And we have 2 lakhs in the ledger account as a debit balance. Let's again pay as that entry was not passed. Go to voucher. This is payment voucher. On 31st of May, we will use autofill, and for that press Ctrl F. Statement, statutory payment, GST, regular payment for 1st of May to 31st of May. Output GST 9,000, CGST 9,000, debit output SGST 9,000 and debit output IGST 19,800. Enter to bank, Axis Bank. So through Axis Bank, we are paying 37,800. See the same amount. Okay. Enter. Give the details. Suppose we are paying through EAT fund transfer, online transfer. Okay. So no need to enter the check number. Now, as we are paying this amount to government, we need to enter the GST details. And for this, provide GST details. Whichever GST details you have, you can provide it over here. If you don't have the detail, no problem. We will reconcile the challan. I will show both. I will enter few things in this entry and rest of the things through challan. So provide GST details, press yes. Mode of payment. We paid through net banking. Name of the bank was Axis Bank. I don't have this number at present, both the numbers, so I will just keep it as it is. I will keep them blank, and payment date was 31st of May. Being tax paid to government. This is the autofill payment entry. Now, the next part is we did this challan reconciliation. As we have not entered all the GST details in the autofill payment voucher, we can reconcile the challan and provide rest of the details. So how to reconcile the challan, that I will show. Go to gateway of Tally, display more report, GST report, challan reconciliation report. So display more reports, GST reports, then here challan reconciliation. Now we have this challan. See, there are number of columns and we are in reconciliation part. If the challan is not reconciled, then it will appear in this screen. Once you reconcile, you fill all the details, it will go up. So it will not get displayed in the list of reconciliation. So as present, we have one challan which is needs to be reconciled. Date of the challan is 31st May. Particulars: Axis Bank, voucher type payment, voucher number, first voucher it was, type of payment of tax is GST, from which period 31st May, sorry, 1st May to 31st May, type of payment. Now we have not entered any value over here, so we need to enter the details. Mode of payment was net banking, bank name was Axis Bank, common portal identification number, that is CPIN number, we have not provided, we need to provide it at present. There are more 5 columns. Just press on this arrow, or you can use your arrow keys from your keyboard. So net banking is there. Challan identification number, we have not even given this details. So, and BRN number, that also bank reference number, or it is unique transaction number which we have not provided. So we need to enter the details over here. How to enter the details? Here are the steps. To reconcile, press spacebar to select, then press Alt S to set details, and then press Enter, provide the details, and then press Accept. So first of all, you have to select the whole line through spacebar. So I will press spacebar anywhere. My cursor is in the any of the column. Press spacebar. Next, press Alt S. Now I will press Alt S, and here it asks for the statutory payment period 1st of May to 31st of May. Payment made through net banking, bank name was Axis Bank, common portal identification number, this is a number which is a 14-digit number. So I will enter the number which I have received by paying to the government for GST payment. After paying to government, we receive these 3 numbers that we will enter in this transaction reconciliation part. So CPIN number is of 14-digit number. I'm just entering by checking the GST report which we paid to government. One, two, three, four. 14-digit number. Then challan identification number. This is of 17 digit. So this is CPIN number, SIN number. Now bank reference number or unique transaction number. This can be, as we paid through Axis Bank, so Axis 0, whatever the number received from Axis Bank. Payment date was 31st of May. So this is how we have reconciled the challan. Enter, after pressing enter, see there is no challan to for reconciliation. So this is how we can reconcile the challan. So in this session we learned how to enter interstate purchase sales of goods, and then we check different reports of GST, GSTR1, GSTR2 and GSTR3B, and then we went for ITC. We need to take ITC, input tax credit, and for that we first made statutory adjustment and then we paid to government through autofill. These two entries are very important, and after paying to the government we reconcile the challan. So these are the three important steps needs to be taken care all the times. So go through the session. I have the questionnaires attached with this. So solve all the questions. The examples taken in this session can be used for practice purpose, and pay the pay whatever the amount comes as a output GST to the government through autofill. So practice the same. If you have any difficulty, we will solve the same. So till then, bye bye.